So you've been a regular in the squad. How pleased have you been with your form recently?
I mean, it's always great being involved with the girls. Walking out in the shirt is just such an honour. Absolutely love it. So I never take it for granted. And the more that I can do it, obviously, the better. And every player is like that. It's not always possible. You know, there's so many players in the squad. It's not always possible for everyone to be able to walk out as a starting player. So when I find myself in those positions, I'm really grateful and I'm going to make the most. And on the flip side, when I'm a substitute, I'm going to think, right, if I do come on, if I'm needed, how can I make the most contribution? And I've been saying to some of the girls, actually, because they kind of laugh sometimes when I get subbed on towards the end of the game, I come on with so much energy. And I say, for me, it's like fitting that 90 minutes into however much time that I've got on the pitch. So I say it's like I'm fitting 90 into 10. So either way, whether it's as a substitute or as a starting player, I really enjoy just coming on and giving it everything.
You definitely made an impact against Wolves recently, your first goal.
Yeah.
Obviously been a long time coming. Did you remember how to celebrate a goal? Did you have a celebration planned?
Yeah,
Or?
no, I mean, I didn't obviously have a celebration planned. It's not something that happens a lot for me as a defender. But I had said on the coach, I joked with the girls, I said, don't know why it came up in my mind. I said, look, if I score, I'll take my shirt off and run around. And obviously karma came round, and the one time I've said that, I have actually scored. So the girls were laughing at me, and obviously I wasn't going to do that. So it was an amazing feeling, and it just kind of, the ball just fell to me, and it felt really natural and really easy to kind of like poke the ball into the net. Obviously we were a few goals up by that point, but it's really important in those games to like really commit to every minute of the game, no matter what the scoreline is, and no matter who the opposition is. And so it was nice to be part of that, and it was a really nice occasion. Like the ground that Wolves hosted us in was brilliant. The atmosphere was brilliant. I think we had over 5,000 people there, so all round it was a really nice evening.
And your teammates look thrilled for you as well, other than taking the mick a little bit.
Yeah.
Did you get some congratulations afterwards as well?
I mean, the girls, this team is so good, so lovely. And I think what's really nice is that everyone is really pleased for other people when things that they do go well for them. So if that's sort of, you know, recently Melvin scores and assists, like that's really good for her on an individual level. And you can just see within this team how people want to get round that and celebrate that. And obviously there's also that acknowledgement that most important thing, first and foremost, is the team doing well. But when people do things that are good for them individually, I think we're quite unique, or it's not always as common as you think it would be amongst teams for people and players to just really celebrate that individual, and especially behind closed doors as well. Obviously people drop messages on like an Instagram post, and so that's nice. But even when you go into training and people go, do you know what, you did that really well there, it goes a long way for everyone's confidence. And so I'm really pleased that when I got my little moment and scored a goal, and obviously that was a nice moment, people were really supportive and really nice.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about sort of that togetherness in the squad. I guess your role in the squad this season, you speak about coming on and being like an impact player from the bench. How have you found your sort of role this season? Has it presented kind of new challenges for you? Have you learned anything from it?
I've learnt loads, and I think every season of my career has been slightly different, and there's always different circumstances, whether that's through injuries or whether that's a run of form for a while or whether that's trying to make an impact. And for me, it's just about making the most of whatever role I find myself in. And so if that is going to be as a player that may need to come into the game rather than 100% of the time starting the game, then I'm going to do that to the best of my ability. So it's not always about wishing for, you know, a situation where you're always not going to be coming on or you're always not going to be playing, but it's about appreciating the reality of what's happening in that moment and realising that there's a lot more to a team and a result than the players that necessarily get to always start the game. And I think that you can see on the pitch the teams in leagues where that value is like really present, and you can tell when it's a real team effort and it's not just about one or two players, and it's not just about even a whole group of players, it's about the staff, it's about the infrastructure around it. And I think that we've got that in spades this season. And so, one, we're lucky and fortunate to find ourselves in that position, but also it's been something that we've worked at and we continue to work at.
Let's speak about the Everton game then for this issue of the programme. Obviously they are lower down the table than United, but they gave Chelsea a really good run for their money the other week. They've stood up to some really tough tests this season. Obviously they brought on Hayley Ladd, who we all know well, and Emma Watson on loan as well. What sort of tests are you expecting from them?
Everton are a really good team, and they've also had some really good results to back it up, and not just when they have got good results, they've also had performances in games where it could have very easily went their way, and they've given, like you say, teams like Chelsea a really, really good run for their money, which on a different day could have been a different result. And so they're a team that we really respect and we take really, really seriously because, one, they've got loads of really good players. They've got some of our former players, Hayley Ladd, they've got Emma Watson on loan, brilliant, bright sparks. They've also got other good individuals and they play really well together. They've got a clear style, they've got a clear identity of what they're trying to do on the pitch. And so for us, we have to try and put our best foot forward and we have to try and play our style and make sure that we dominate in the areas that we think we can control. For example, we want to work harder than the other teams. We want to be as energetic and direct and kind of have that fighting mentality where we can. And we hope that we can outmatch other teams. And I think that in this season we have been fortunate enough to be able to do that. And so that's something that we will definitely be looking to do. And then matching in with hopefully some of our individual quality. If we're able to bring all of that into the mix on the day, then I think we'll put ourselves in a good position to try and get some points from the game.
And to move to sort of, I guess, some of the other players in the squad, you and Jade have shared that sort of right back position in recent weeks. She, like yourself, has suffered a lot with injury at a time at the club, but she's developing into a really kind of elite player, would you agree? Can you talk a bit about your relationship with her?
I think that not only is she developing into an elite player, I think that she actually already is as well. I think that her attributes are like really, really top quality, and there's many things that she brings onto a pitch that not many players in the WSL can bring. Her pace, her understanding of how to support attacks and running forward, some of her 1v1 ability. It's really, really top level. And she's only, with her age and her youth and also her hunger to get better, she's only adding into that. So some of her crosses and her assists in the latter part of this season is really a testament to what she works on in training. And so she's a really valued member of the team and a really nice person off it. And so she's someone that I like to, watch how she plays, learn from her. And I think that's something that we all try and do. We all try and appreciate different players, different profiles, and like what people bring onto the pitch. And appreciate that and use that as an impetus to try and get better ourselves.
With us being at Old Trafford, it feels, I have to ask you about the derby at the end of the season. Obviously the last derby here, I think you missed with quad injury, although I could be wrong. How much are you looking forward to that occasion, getting the chance to step out here in a derby?
I'm really cherishing the opportunity to play, obviously, our rivals here at Old Trafford. In my memories, we obviously still have that memory of how it didn't go our way last time. And so the chance to really flip that around and try and make good on that, and also continue the feeling of our previous win in the league against City at the Etihad, that is like a massive motivation. We really respect Man City. They have incredible players and they've been doing so well over the years, and so to be able to put our best foot forward and to really try and bring everything good about what we've been doing this year, and hopefully that can put us in a position where we can put a good performance on the day and try and get a win. Ultimately, that's what we want from derbies, and then the atmosphere to go with that. I think that's what our fans want as well, and so it's a really exciting opportunity.